Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind, where we are currently with Skink at Tel that place that it says there. Let me just sort my map out. Here we go. With that, we're in that place next to Colgaroon. It's like Skink just sort of took one look at all the place names in this game and was just like, you know what? There's some pretty difficult to pronounce places in this country. I'm gonna beat all of them with mine. Anyway. Yes, here we are, folks. He gets a little steam bath.
Please speak.
Here he is. And he wants us to assist him with the thing that he's got going on. He's got a friend. So let's see. Let me reread this again. He's accepted the apology. He expects me to aid another Argonian in building his home. This one could be interesting, though. According to Skink's narratives, Strogay breeds rocks like a gardener breeds plants. I will see if I can't make any use of him. I should make the trip to Tel Asero and talk to him in person, because that's where he is apparently now. Tel Asero is there. We have actually been there in the LP. I just, in amongst all of the hundreds and hundreds of map markers, I couldn't find it yet last time. And but there it is. I looked it up on the wiki where exactly it was, and I was like, hang on a minute, we've definitely been there. It's right there, Tel Asero. Not out far away from our tower, actually, so a quicker way of getting there would probably be via Saran, but I'm just going to go to the tower, and we're going to go for a march on through the, speaking of difficult to pronounce places, we're going to go march down through the Morlag and Moor down to the coast at Tel Asero, and Morlag Moor actually would be closer too, but we're going to go march down there through the Ashlands and meet this guy. Because I feel like it's been a while since we've been through a little yomp through the wilderness, you know. Definitely on Vardenfell anyway, not including the Tamriel Rebuilt stuff. It's been a while since we've just gone walking around on Vardenfell for a while. We've been just teleporting and fast travelling like a mad thing lately. It's time we went for a walk. Where's the time now, though? It's 7 PM. Alright, so before we go, though, I want to go talk to this dude, this friend of Skink's, because Skink is apparently friends with a vampire. A vampire that's also friends with the Shalaku Ashlander tribe, even more bizarrely. So I'd like to talk to this vampire before we leave. I think Fathas's curiosity is sufficiently piqued. Problem is finding the guy, honestly. Oh boy. If we go all the way to the bottom, what's down here?
Greetings. What exactly do you require of me?
Well, there it is then. Sorry to just drop in on you there. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Alighieri. How can I help you? Greetings from your reality, Father Sylvan. What is it that you ask of me? What about these Ashlander guards? I have a good relation with all Ashlanders in these parts of Vardenfell, so the Ash Khan was happy to send some of his best hunters and warriors to Tel Asero, especially when he heard that we would be keeping a close eye on Colgaroon and the other 6th house base around here. I have walked this land for a long time, but this tower is a mystery to me. We went out one night, and out of my eye I saw Skink in tree's shade quickly plant a rather large black seed into the soil. When we returned the following night, the seed had grown to cover the tower you see right now. I'm not entirely sure what this is, or if I shouldn't, or if I shouldn't rather say who this is, it, he, whatever. This tree is adapting to our every need. When I moved down here, there was only one alcove. I conferred with Skink and said that I would require a bit more space. When I returned to my chamber, I found it like this, 4 alcoves, with one of them leading into a cave. What kind of plant grows so fast? Yeah, one moment, man. I just want to... If you don't mind. Ugh. Tower dungeon, huh? Oh, you've got a coffin and everything.
You won't take too much of my time.
Okay. Who's Elmira in Dallas? Remarkable character, independent, strong-minded, and forceful. Her presence brings back memories of younger and livelier days. She reminds me of someone I once knew, Bellatrin. Sweet Bellatrin, if only I knew what happened to her. No, that's nothing an Archmagister should spend his time on. That's my private problem. Is there a reason you're not wearing clothes, by the way? I'm kind of curious. Or did I just catch you at a bad moment? He's a remarkable man, amphibian, whatever. I still don't know that much about Argonians. We met by sheer chance near Arano ancestral tomb. I'd had a rotten night, and Calvario wasn't much help either. And just on my way home, I met this extraordinary scholar of the 6th House. We decided to continue our travels and studies together, and finally he grew this place. Sarabane alone knows alone knows what that means. It originates from a very rare dialect. Nightblade, huh? Blending the disciplines of the stealthy agent and the subtle wizard. Yep, that's pretty much what we are, actually. I think we went with agent in the end for our class, but yeah, Nightblade's probably a more accurate description of Fathis these days. Neverine. Little secret. Advice. Just generic stuff in it. Bellatrin. As I already said, Archmagister, you shouldn't spend your time on this. Probably every second I even think about it will be wasted after all this time. Are you sure? You just won't let it rest, will you? Alright, if you really need to know, Bellatrin is my sister. I lost her long ago, yet I don't know if she's still alive, undead or dead. I don't understand. You say that you lost her, but you don't know about her fate. What's happened? I had sworn myself never to bring this up again, but now that you've reminded me, it's all the same to me. I will start at the very beginning. I'm old now, old enough to have known Nerevar, had I been important enough to know a king back then. I did meet him a couple of years before his death. Not personally. I was taking a moon bath in his gardens when I spied him and Almalexia in the Timsa come by. To be honest, you remind me of him. The way you both move and speak. I don't know whether I should feel flattered or insulted. I did, however, know Saint Veloth in person. How he could ever become a saint is a mystery to me. If you ask me, he was overstrained with his visions, that's all. He constantly stated that the Ultima had grown decadent, and that from a man who was having an orgy every week. He was charismatic, all right, but one of the best orators I've heard in centuries. But a saint? Ask his elven concubines about it. Sorry, his 11 concubines about it. They never mentioned that in the history books, do they? You were going to tell me about Bellatrin? What? Bellatrin? Oh, right. Yes, as I said, she was my sister. We were young back then. Young, daring, and everything but decadent. We devoted our lives to our studies and soon realized that we wouldn't live to complete them until we met Tranquil. Whoever he is, he sounds like something you buy from a pharmacy. We were lucky to find him in a weakened state, or else he could have ripped us apart. Bellatrin and I were exploring the countryside for some special plants when we spied Tranquil. He was in dire need of blood, or he wouldn't live another day. In exchange, he offered us immortality. Immortality. Alighieri's face becomes thoughtful. I did live until now, but his bloodline vanished. Completely during the Second Era. Makes you think. Oh well, back to the story. We were near our town and bid for 6 hours' time to think it over. He was too weak to oppose us, so we went back to our house and talked it over. It was the offer we had never dared to hope for. We would have all of eternity for our studies. I give him a quizzical glance. Don't look at me like that. I told you we were young and daring. Before the next sunrise, we both had 2 holes in our neck and had left with Tranquil. He was unlike any vampire we knew. Yes, we did know a couple. Vampirism was en vogue among certain groups during that time. Of course, that changed when some didn't care to ask for a drink anymore. Tranquil was different. He was a noble, and had become a child of the night because he and his wife couldn't have children. He was old, and his life was nearing its end. To him, dying without having a successor would have been synonymous with forsaking his people. So he decided not to die. Not voluntarily, that is. So he searched and found a vampire among his people and became a vampire. He lived and reigned for many centuries afterwards, and was well respected among Tamriel's dynasties until that fateful day. The last I heard was that he went to visit Severian Chorek. Ooh, I know who that is. It's from the 2920 books, I think. He never returned, and judging by the void I felt in my blood back then, he had found his end. A few weeks later, I'd heard that Severian Chorak was dead too. Oh, now you've done it. All those memories are coming back, and I thought I'd overcome them. It'll take another decade to repress them again. It's easier to resolve your problems rather than repress them, you know. What do you know, young blood? Try to live for a few thousand years and we'll talk again. Well, that's the plan anyway, actually. As a matter of fact, Mr. Alighieri. Oh, well, the earlier I tell you about Bellatrin, the earlier I can begin to divert my mind from her again. So, after we both became vampires, we pursued our studies without haste, and with the utmost diligence. We finally had all the time we needed, and all went well until a few centuries ago. Our troubles began when we met a certain... I'm sorry, what? Downane, I think. Downane. She was a Nightblade back then. One night she invited me over to her house. Since we were both interested in herbalism at that time, although for different objectives, I thought this was to be a scientific meeting. Far from it. When she opened the door, I couldn't help but notice 2 marks on her neck. Only 2 nights earlier, a vampire had intruded into their house, killed her husband, and bitten her. She was frightened and ashamed of it, so she didn't call for help. She'd already waited for 2 days. Alas, of course, I insisted on taking her to a healer and have her cured, but luck was against us. The healer was out of town gathering herbs for potions, and so she turned into a vampire that very night. What was I supposed to do? I took her with me. She stayed with us for a few weeks before she went east to Morrowind. I didn't hear from her until a few decades later when Bellatrin and I moved here to study the anatomical impact of corpus on living beings. I was surprised to hear that she had assumed the name Aunde, and that she had founded a new bloodline here on Vardenfell. It was a welcome surprise and delight to see a friendly face. As you know, the public opinion on vampires has changed considerably since Tranquil's days. In fact, I was so delighted that I stayed with Downane in Ashmelech for 2 years. She even adopted me into her clan. I was doing fine until I met that wretched vampire hunter named Verlander near the Urshulaku burial caverns. I instantly remembered that name. He was Downane's son, whom I had left on the priest's doorstep as a baby when his mother had turned into a vampire. Now he was grown up and wanted to find the one that had killed its mother. I laughed at his face and told him to visit Ashmelech and be prepared for a surprise. He had something else in mind and headed west, but when I came home that morning, Bellatrin was missing, gone without a trace. Of course, I turned everything upside down, without a result. Bellatrin was gone and didn't return, but 2 days later I found a letter and a key on my doorstep. Someone was taunting me for my devotion to my sister while giving me a cryptic hint on where to find her. Well, I didn't know Vardenfell well enough yet, and I had no idea that hint was pointing me to. No idea where that hint was pointing me to, so I went to see Downane for help. She was very supportive and cordial, but all of her suggestions didn't bear any success. She did her best to comfort me, but I was obsessed with finding my sister, so I left Ashmelech and turned every stone on this island upside down over the last decades. I'm sure that Bellatrin is not on Vardenfell, or else I would have found her. After 6 years of searching, I had accepted that I would never see her again, and returned to Ashmelech. But Downane was furious at me. It seemed as if she was actually jealous of Bellatrin. She rejected me, and even forbade me to ever visit Ashmelech again. That's hard. Do you still have that letter? Yes, here, take it. And take the key as well. Maybe I'll forget quicker when I'm rid of it. Oh, who am I trying to fool? I know that letter in and out. Go and try your luck if you must, but don't mention Bellatrin's name before you actually found her, will you? Last time it took me 15 years to find some peace, and though I have all of eternity, I don't want to go through that again. Note written in a refined hand has been added to your inventory. Delicate keys have been added to your inventory. Your journal's been updated. Alright then. What's that on your casket? Oh no, it's just part of the casket. Okay. So... Lost something you hold very dear, sheltered from acute winds, she waiteth still, where those whose tusks are never sheathed dwell and wait, like butchers bent to kill. Hurry now, lest she is of her unlife relieved. Okay, sheltered from acute winds. She waiteth still, where those whose tusks are never sheathed dwell and wait, like butchers bent to kill. Sheltered from acute winds. Tusks are never sheathed. Refer to a bunch of things. Orcs, Kaguti? Sheltered from acute winds makes me think of valley somewhere. Whatever that may be, or whatever, yeah. Fascinating. Hello. I'd like to talk to you for a moment, Elmera. Oh. I was going to ask you about, why don't you tell me about this place? It's a good fortress. I have no idea how Skink and Trees Shade managed to grow it so quickly. We parted ways one night. I wanted to explore the coastline while he and Alighieri went out to look for a suitable construction site. The next night we had already moved in, and I asked him about it naturally, but he won't give me any details. I'm not sure what this is anyway. In quiet moments I think that I can hear the walls breathing. I know that's impossible, but I swear I've seen a wall shift before my eyes.
How wonderful.
I was just thinking maybe I should find Skink and ask him about this Bellatrin thing. Maybe he's got some ideas. Stupid tree. No, can't ask him about it either. Alright, well, I shall ponder that, I suppose. Travel. Tower upper? Yeah, so we can rest for the night. And then we're off to Tel Asero, on foot. It's going to bother me if I never manage to figure out that riddle. It's a tricky one, though. Right, let's rest for 11 hours. There we go. Let's see, what shall we wear? Yeah, for old time's sake, why not? I hope there's not an ash storm outside. That would make things really annoying. Now that I think about it. Well, however, if I can get down here, get a hearty breakfast from the kitchen before we leave. Hello,
Welcome.
good morning,
If you
Samina.
wish to talk, it is really no trouble at all.
I would like something to eat, please. Grilled fish it is. Sardines. Something like that, I imagine. Fortify Magicka, nice. Not that it seems to have had an effect, but hey. Right.
Archmagister Apostle Honey, how may I...
Tempted to bring one of you with me, but I think you'll only get destroyed in the process, which would be a bit of a shame, so... It's not an ash storm, which is nice. It's a shame I can't bring you with me, because you would definitely kick some ass. Okay, so we pretty much just want to head south from here. And then eventually we shall find Tel Asero. Shall we equip? Yeah, range leech health. Not the area of effect one, just the box standard. For dealing with cliff races and the like. I may equip the Ward of Phinem, actually. For a bit of added... well, a little bit of added armor, but also... what do you call it? There we go. For the Magicka regen. You're not dead. Come back here at once. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Bastard thing. Right. Oh, some Ashlanders. You're hostile. You look like outcasts. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Mayor Ashanidantus. How can I help you? Well, I was expecting to be attacked, not a polite introduction. Makes a nice change. You're a Mabrigash, aren't you? We're the Ashlander Witch Warriors, women who defy the man's rules of behavior for women, mastering the man's weapons of war and the sorcerer's powerful magics. Craven men whine that we steal their vital essences to feed our dark purposes, but men are fools and cowards. Present company accepted, I suppose. Only women can understand the secrets of the ghost snake and its hidden mysteries that can make men tremble like maidens. Rumours? Morrowind lore? Jolly good. Well, carry on, ladies. I'll just be on my way. Awfully polite Mabrigashes, aren't they? Are you really gonna... Are you... Okay. Okay, dude. There we go. I did the trick. I should proceed with a little modicum of caution, shouldn't I? I am playing on max difficulty now. You never know when something might one-shot you. Now, would that happen to be Nishu Lefting? Yeah, I think it would. So, what's-her-face Aunde and the vampire clan, he mentioned that this woman started, this other woman, not Betild or whatever her name was, the other one. That's one of the main vampire factions in the game. That if you become a vampire, you can end up joining. You don't get to choose, of course, which vampire faction you get to join. Of course, it doesn't really work like that. It depends on which faction of vampire bit you, essentially, in the first place. It basically depends on which faction the vampire who infects you belongs to, and then that then becomes your assigned clan, if you like. And if you seek them out, not that you get much direction in doing so, but if you do manage to seek them out, they are a full-blown faction with quests to do and things like that. which is kind of cool. Obviously, the downside is in Morrowind is that, you know, without mods, if you want to become a vampire, you are completely ostracized by the rest of the world, because they can all tell a vampire on sight in this game, and you can't fast travel properly, you can't complete a bunch of quests because you can't actually talk to the NPCs. Oh, you were annoying. Bloody gargoyle. That did the trick. But we've discussed the whole vampire thing before. If it wasn't for that fact, I think Fathis would have potentially considered vampirism. Indeed, if Fathis were a character that existed in Oblivion or Skyrim, he probably would be a vampire by now. But luckily, he sidestepped the entire issue by becoming immortal through a completely different means, which is helpful. We get over this without levitating. Well, we might be able to. I think there've been mods for Morrowind for a very long time, though, that allow you to actually play as a vampire and still do the rest of the game. I think there's one that gave you like an amulet or something that allowed you to sort of walk around in the day and what have you. But I never really cared for it. Personally. A vampire playthrough in Morrowind would be like a fun little mini-series that could be done, I'm sure. But anyway, yes, Aunde are one of the 3 clans that you can join. The other ones are... I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure one of them begins with a D. Never mind. Although it's 3, you know, it's a standard 3 faction split, so you've got like the vampire clan that's more thief based, the one that's more warrior based, and the one that's more magic based, as you might expect. Right. This is Tel Asero. We're here already, actually, to my surprise. I guess I'm so used to tracking across the vast wilderness of Tamriel Rebuilt that the relative shortness of this journey took me entirely by surprise. We did wander off course a bit there, didn't we? Look at that. I meant to go like... Although, actually, having said that, we went past Nashula thing. That's weird. Oh, wait, no, there we go. I was getting Melag Mar mixed up with Tel Asero there. Yeah, no wonder I was confused. Nah, we're good. Okay, anyway. Where's this guy, then? Hello. Strogay! Hello, yes, you are incredibly tall, it is true.
Greetings, honored friend.
Greetings, esteemed guest. What brings thee to Madge humble abode?
I'm Archmagister of the Great House Telvanni. Skink and Tree Shade asked me to look into your troubles here at Tel Asero.
Ah, yes. You see that Tel Asero is the perfect place for breeding rocks. Soil is moldable clay. Lava wells arise from below. But it is infested with wretched copperous beasts, and they insist on coming back every time I drive them away. The disease is obstructing the rock's growth, and I need your help to rid of them permanently.
And how?
You need to plant a storm monarch's heart onto their altar, directly on top of that ugly statue in the middle. That will purify the air and make the rocks grow. Skink says that corporous beasts hate the stench of fresh air.
Aha. Just so happens I have one of those. But it's back at the tower. Hello. Raw glass, raw adamantium, diamond, raw ebony. Big old crystal. So you grow rocks. Well. Lucky. Alright. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to have to... See, the thing is, I can't mark and recall here because I want to preserve the mark I have all the way up here near Coggaroon. So, I'm going to have to use the ring now, and I'm going to have to, like, lightning boots my way back here on foot again, unfortunately. To the Uvirith Tower. Here we go. Little bit irritating, but there it is. Oh, it always takes ages to load this on a first session. Because of all the crap I've put in here. Right. There's that Storm Monarch heart. There it is. Right. Let's use the elevator thingy for once, why not? There we go. Right. Lightning boots. Okay. I don't think they're quite fully charged, unfortunately, but it'll speed things up a little bit, if nothing else. Hello, ladies. Back again. Sorry, just passing through. Curses. It was just passing through. Unfortunately, my magical boots have had different ideas. Useless bloody things. Let's kill this guy. Dare you. Blazing scamp. There are lots of random Daedra roaming the ash wastes, aren't there? Not sure if there's much of a reason for that beyond Morrowind simply being, I don't know, a country that's just very Daedra friendly, I suppose. Oh, this is going to be very annoying. There we go. Right. Levitate. Where is it? I've returned. I now have the Storm Monarch's heart. I have found one indeed. Join House Talvani? So, you found it. Please go and plant its heart on top of the altar statue down in the lower level. Okay, I'll chill. Oh god, Attack of the Hiccups, don't know where that came from. Upper level. Now, we've been here before and we've killed the 6th house cultists here, I'm sure of it. However, the place may have repopulated itself. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. He did mention that they keep coming back. Honestly, we should probably take this pretty seriously, shouldn't we? I mean... Coggaroon was no joke. Oh, they've gone. There were some guys up there, but they've gone. Ouch. Huh. Maybe I forgot this place last time. Maybe I actually haven't been here and I just think I have. Because I think there's another stronghold out there somewhere that's vaguely similar to this one, which I might have confused it with, to be fair. Hello, Grand Soul Gem and Grandmaster's Pick. Bloody hell. Don't mind if I do. Door to the lower level. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He's very bleeding dark down here, isn't it? Whoa! Hello. Somebody survived. Alright, you horrible kid. No ascended sleepers? No? Just you, Egypts. And a couple of ash ghouls. I am a little disappointed, I have to say. Breathing water. Alright, what do we got? Exquisite amulets are always nice. That's a pile of money. Ugh, don't want any of that. Play a little jolty tune on the bells. Makes them seem much less sinister. Ooh. You place the Storm Monarch's heart on top of the statue. A fresh breeze fills the room and the air instantly seems to be cleaner. And humming with a really loud sound effect. And also my frame rate is being destroyed. Very good. Let's just leave. This leads me back out here, I see. Okay. Oh, hello. I didn't check this bit out, did I? What have we got here? Oh, an Ascended Sleeper. Marvellous. Marvellous, good sir. Hello. I'm here to capture your soul. And because you're so... You've so utterly warped and destroyed yourself with foul magics, you don't actually count as a person anymore, and therefore I don't need a black soul gem to trap your soul, which is bad news for you. Gotcha. Grand Soul Gem Ascended Sleeper. Marvellous. Of course, that did damage me a bit, but worth it. It's half heal. There we go. Is that it for this place? It was just this guy hanging out down here in his little cave, wasn't it? Yep. Carved out his own little domain here. Oh, hello. God, that was a bit disturbing, seeing him just slowly shambling out into view there. Dimly lit by the candles, just, ugh, no thanks. Don't know how I missed him, but yeah. That got under my skin, that did a bit there. That was very creepy. Alright. Hello. I'm going to forgo the ridiculous voice acting for now. I saw a couple of corpus beasts fleeing north. I take it that you have managed to exorcise that those cursed pests from Tel Asero. Thank you, Archmagister. Thank you very much. Skink has told me about your differences, but I am sure he will forgive you. Now, here is a letter for him. Would you be so kind to deliver it to Tel Kodruth? Make amends? I've not been expelled, have I? Have I done something stupid and got myself expelled? Is that why make amends is there? No. Okay, fine. Good. Alright, old beat. Been a pleasure working with you. Not really, actually. It's been horrifying, but yeah. Let's get out of here. Can we read the letter? Actually. To Skink and Tree Shade, esteemed brother of the root, you have done well in sending Archmagister Fathisulfan to Tel Asero. Tel Asero is freed of the sixth house, and the rocks may grow unhindered. Hoping to welcome you in my humble abode soon, your marsh brother, Phlegm. Jolly good. Recall. Hello, Skink. Brush the dust off my shoulders a bit. It's alright, I've come to you wearing my, Ashland's travelling gear. Anyway, what brings you here, Archmagister? Have you been able to help Strogay with his little problem? I have. Here's a letter from him. Thank you. Pray give me a moment to read it. Yes, Strogay speaks well of you. You have proven your loyalty and dedication to our agreement, Archmagister. I feel I can trust you once more. If you haven't done already, I suggest that you meet my comrades and co-founders of Tel Asero, Elmira, Indalis, and Alighieri. They're both extraordinary, interesting people. We have actually had a chat with both of them. As a matter of fact. Yep. Good lord. There we go. I was going to ask him about the sister, but there's no dialogue option for it. Well. Maybe we should talk to Elmira again. I didn't really chat very long with her, did I? In the end. I was a bit busy, so... Skink, we need to have words, mate, about how utterly inconvenient your bloody tower is. I don't want to delete your tree with the console, because it's probably very sacred to you. Probably some sort of hist tree. And it feels wrong to therefore disable it with the console. However, my dude... This is outrageously difficult. There we go. I don't fall all the way down because we don't want to see Mr. Alighieri right now. Ooh. I could ask him about his sister again, but he did say specifically, don't do it, please. And, hello, didn't mean to come here. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna quick, he doesn't look happy to see. I'm gonna quick save and ask him.
Hello, I hope you won't take too much of my time.
I bid you not mention her name again, Father Sylvan, but now that you already did, you want to hear our story again? No, I'm sorry for bringing it up again. Good. Okay, right, yes. I've made absolutely no progress, mate, I will be completely honest with you. But I'm looking into it. Perhaps I can ask Eddie to sort it out or something. I haven't actually had a look at the tower dungeon, I must admit. Hello. Have we got locked up in here, then? A dreamer. Uh-huh. Your betrayed Lord Dagoth tastes his vengeance. Not from in there. I'll be not tasting any vengeance at all. Whoa, you're a freaky lady. You got 3 eyes, or something. Can we just throw her into the lava? I don't like her. Very annoying. Back a bit. Wait a minute, Skink. Just had a thought. Skink. Where are you? Teleport. Oh no. Yeah, the problem is, mate, if I speak to Lunella, she doesn't really do anything. I think she's bugged out, but I will give it a try. Hello again, Elmira. He's very cultivated for a vampire. I've met several, and he's the first one that looks you in the eye instead of at your neck. He's also literate, refined, and urbane, which is more than I can say about most men. If his eating habits were less repulsive, he'd be perfect. I just can't stand that muted slurping sound. Actually, quite funny, if you do become a vampire in this game, House Telvanni are like one of the only factions that will actually speak to you, instead of just saying, "Oh, vampire, go away." Which is a nice touch. So you might actually still be able to become head of House Telvanni as a vampire in this game. I don't know if that's actually possible. But you can certainly talk to Telvanni folks. Our quarrel. Mm-hmm. What about Telk's strong arm? Thieving little swit. Alright. A lumbering giant of a swit. We don't like each other. There's good reason for our quarrel. Well, it all began when we met in Mornhold. Telk was working for a smith back then, and I wasn't as skilled in an armour as I am now. So I took my grandmother's silver axe to that very smith to have it sharpened. All seemed well until I returned the next day in order to fetch it. My axe had disappeared, and so had Telk. I found him at the Plaza Brindisi Dorum, looking for that no-good friend of his, Forstag. He'd lent him my axe, and now Forstag was nowhere to be found. Can you believe that presumptuousness? Lend my axe? Oh well, I taught him a lesson. I paralysed him, threw his armour and clothes into the fountain, took his family axe, and told him that he would get it back when he returned my axe, and not a moment earlier. 2 weeks afterwards, that Forstag showed up again. He had taken a trip to Solstheim and took my axe with him. And that's not all. That blockhead lost it. Oh, I punished him as well. The next night I snuck into his room and imbued his clothes with some heat lotion. Since then he has the nickname, the Sweltering of that Forstag. Yes, Forstag is another naked Nord character from the game. He's in Tribunal, he's in Mornhold. I think we might have walked past him at one point when we made our brief little trip there earlier. I like that. We got some backstory for that now. Very good. Oh, this is actually... I thought it was just a funny story. I didn't realise it was a quest. Oh, well, maybe I will talk to Telk if I ever happen to go back there again. Okay. Oh, look. Axes. Stalrim War Axe. Nice one. That's a good axe, you know. You don't actually do any repairing, though, which is kind of annoying. Because I suspect my gear is in a state of requiring a bit of repair lately. Right. Right, yeah, we want to go talk to our advisor, don't we? That's what we want to do. Maybe ask him about... see if he knows anything about this vampire's sister. Unlikely, but you never know. Tower up. There we go. The council house, if you please. Talking to my my portal like it's a taxi driver. Step on it. Well, actually, you know what, while we're here, we'll have a... I'm going to do it now before I forget. Let's go and speak to Lunella again. So you think it's rude to just, like, teleport... levitate, like, over someone's head in a corridor like that? Seems like it might be considered rude. Luckily, I am the Archmagister, and I can do what I like. I can levitate over anybody's heads.
What do you want of me, Outlander?
I wish you to get out of the way before I decide to completely and utterly wipe you from the face of Nern. Thank you. It would only be 1,000 gold fine, you know. At least I think so. Actually, it might be 10,000. I can't remember. Can't remember what murder costs you in this game. But I have a lawyer, you see. Yeah, I'm here about Skink. Typical. It's not an option. No, I see nothing here. How very annoying. Never mind. I hope that doesn't come back to cause us problems later, like, you know. Like I need to do an actual proper, like, full-on main quest type thing. I need to speak to her.
May I help you, Outlander?
Because that'd be a bit of a problem if the old dialogue topic doesn't show up, which at the minute none of them seem to be. Right. Backwards and forwards, up and down all these stairs, and I say stairs in air quotes, really. Ramps, more like. Greetings, Archmagister. Word of your reconciliation with Skink and Treeshade has spread quickly. While I would like to congratulate you on your success, I must also report that our newer members are starting to court the Council's resentment. I myself am beginning to ask myself whether it was a good idea to adopt Skink and Edwina into the house. Well, Edwina was clearly a terrible idea, I'll grant you that, but Skink, on the other hand, seems interesting. A little bit of contrary wind, and you're ducking out of house politics. Your lack of stamina astonishes me, Loven. It's not a single incident that is offending the council. It's a whole series of occurrences. First you adopt Ranos Selethri into the house without even consulting anyone. Then we have to worry about Edwina having gone bonkers. And then Skink disappeared without a trace. House Talvani is beginning to look like a bunch of uncoordinated madmen. I don't know how to respond to that, other than with a very, very knowing stare. Those were mostly initial difficulties and false reports. I have dealt with them all. So what's really eating at you at the council? Loven grimaces for a second. It's Edwina Elbert again, Archmagister. This time it's not a vague suspicion, it's an actual distress call. Frati Fear has called the council for help. Edwina isn't herself anymore. She dresses outlandish, barks orders in a language nobody understands, and her whole appearance has become somewhat alarming. Frati Fear has sent the other inhabitants away from Tel Dwemer for their own safety. You should go there and talk to her immediately. She's in the observatory. Oh dear. Frati Fear. I can't really assess her. If I understood Deveth correctly, he engineered her more than 300 years ago, and yet she still looks as if she was in her early 30s. Dratha is obsessed with finding out the secret to Frati's youth. Currently, she assists Edwina Elbert as a meteorologist and astronomer. The poor thing is only so embittered because she has to use necromancy every second day to keep her body from falling apart. I don't know for sure, but there are rumours that she fell victim to a powerful sorcerer long ago. Very few know the truth, and nobody dares to speak about it. Bloody hell, Lovin. Alright. Well, we can't teleport there because Lunella Hleran's stupid dialogue broke. So, What's-Her-Face doesn't have a teleporter. However, we can go to Tel Voss. So I'm pausing for a moment here because the cat wants belly rubs. So I'm giving them to him. Right, now he's grooming himself. Okay, good. So, anyway, we can teleport to Tel Voss and then just quickly walk over there. So, won't take 2 ticks. Not a problem. But is it going to be raining, though? That is the question. Is it raining in Tel Voss yet again? No, it isn't. Good heavens. Alright, let's go. My boots of lightning speed, how are they doing? Oh dear. Yeah, they're not going to be fully charged again for a while. I could try and recharge them with the Grand Soul Gem, but what a waste of a Grand Soul that would be. Do you know what? Before we came here, we should have gone changed into the robe of the Archmagister, because God knows what we have to expect over here. I'd quite like to look official for this. Plus, this robe has some really nice magical effects, so... If you can hear a jingling in the background, that is of course, Colin. As you might expect. It's a lot of guars, isn't it? What is it that wants to kill me, exactly? Everything here looks pretty chill, if I'm honest. Cliff races? No? Is it you? Yes. And something else as well, apparently, but I give up. Interesting. You know those Dwemer ghosts that we did, that apparently we weren't going to talk about? Yeah. Oh, Christ, where are we? We're supposed to go see her instead? Oh, she's in the... No, yeah, he said she's in the observatory. Now, that is very odd. The observatory. Right, I got my wires crossed there. I thought he meant that Edwina was in the observatory, but no. Hello, Freighty. Good to see you, Archmagister. Yes, I have called for help. Edwina Elbert is out of control, and I'm at my wit's end with this matter. Yes, she doesn't look quite herself, does she, in a manner of speaking? Have you seen her condition? She's been like this for some days now. I don't know what happened to her, but that shadow who's following her is eerie. It all started only a couple of hours after Malam had left for Azura's coast. I suspect that something happened to her while she was exploring as she left lower levels. I've been there several times now, but I couldn't find anything out of the order. Did you notice something while you were with her? Oh, you mean apart from the fog covering the floor and dozens of strange black dwarven ghosts watching me quietly as I walked past them, that nobody seemed interested in at all? Fog and black ghosts? Oh, no, not again. What? Nothing, I was just thinking out loud. Then think a bit more, and think aloud. I need to know some details. First, what do you mean by not again? Don't count me mad, Fathers. What I'm about to tell you is absolutely true, yet it rings hollow as an empty cistern. In my younger years, I visited Kemel Z, or rather what was left of it. I didn't fear anything or anyone back then, so I ventured in. I must have spent a day or more exploring the ruin when I spotted a crack in a wall just about wide enough for me to slip through. I expected to find a cave, a grotto, or something like that. Well, it wasn't anything like that at all. And what did you find? I found a large room built in Dwemer architecture. I think I found a secret section of Kemelzy, but I didn't get to explore it any further than a few feet. You see, the room wasn't empty, but its floor was covered in fog, and there were about 20 shades in there. They resembled the Dwemer spectres that you can find in any ruin, but these were pitch black except for their eyes, which were glowing red. Sounds familiar. Those spectres in the shoe left looked the same, but also parts of their robes were glowing red too. So you believe me? Good. That saves me from having to convince you of my sanity. As I said, I didn't get to explore the room any further because one of those shades turned to me and demanded in a thundering voice that I leave immediately. He said that I was not allowed to be there. When he and a dozen more approached me, I backed off. Before I turned and ran, I saw a person materialize in a flash of light in the middle of the room. Another ghost? No, a Dwemer lass, but she matured at an incredible speed. Within seconds, she reached adolescence, and when I finally left the room, she was a grown woman of about 20 years. I don't know what would have happened had I stayed a little longer, but the shades had come close, and I ran for fear of my life. I slipped through the crack in the wall, and shortly afterwards, I heard a sound like stone moving. I looked over my shoulder, and the crack was closing. That would explain why Fathers didn't find it when he was at Kemelzy, I suppose. I'd had enough thrills for the day, so I left Kemelzy and returned a couple of days later. I'd met some scholars and told them about it. Naturally, they were excited to explore this further, but when we got to Kemelzy, the crack in the wall was gone, without any trace of its existence. We even tore down a part of the wall, but there was nothing behind it but earth and rock. The scholars began to question my sanity openly, so I left. But I know what I saw, and that was... Yes? That girl. Yes, you already told me about her. No, you don't understand. I know who she was, or rather is. Oh, how could I be so blind? All those years her face was burnt into my memory, and it's Tanisi. Tanisi Adabar. Yes, she hasn't aged a bit since then, but it was her, I'm sure. How could I overlook all those hints and clues? She doesn't remember anything about her childhood or adolescence. Her memory sets in as a young woman. One day she finds herself waking up in a Dwemer ruin, and that's it. Doesn't know who she is and where she came from. She can speak, write, fight, cook, you name it. She doesn't know where she learnt it. She doesn't know her parents or her past. Did you know that for a while she feared she might be the Nerevarine? The whole born on a certain day to uncertain parents story. The day she was born, the sky turned copper. It never did before, and it hasn't happened since. Do you know what I think? I think the Dwemer might have survived somewhere. She's the first one to come back. Ugh, calm down. To me she seems to be a Dwemer. There's nothing Dwemer about her. You haven't seen her lately. Her eyes have become brighter to the point of glowing. She's learned to repair and construct Dwemer technology in a matter of hours. And when Edwina barked her first unintelligible order, she replied without thinking a second. She is the only one who seems to understand Edwina, and what is even more troubling is that she's started to speak in the same language as her. I need to speak to Tanisi. Where can I find her? Last time I saw her, she wanted to go explore in the shoe left. I'm worried that if that was a good idea, you better hurry and find her, Fathis. I'll see to it that Edwina doesn't harm herself or anyone else. Whew. Good grief. Right. The plot thickens a great deal. We need to get out of here, though. Once we're finished getting stuck on all the bloody architecture. There we go. Right, how do you actually get into the ruin from here? I've forgotten. Is it around this way? I'm starting to feel like no. Also, something wants me dead again. Ugh. Constant battle music is my new reality. Ah, here we go. What the devil are we going to find down here then, I wonder? Oh, I think I missed a spot. There we go. How untidy of me. Well, either that or these bloody things have respawned again. Oh no, we have been in here. That was unlocked. Should I expect more trouble? Maybe that was for the first visit, as opposed to the second visit. And now we're on the third visit to this place. Oh, hello. No, this isn't a bit weird at all. Oh, hello, Archmagister. Come closer, they won't harm you. Genesia, what is this all about? I finally found out about my ancestry. What? Blasphemous. Sorry, Archmagister, I need to say goodbye to my family. They're in a hurry and need to leave. I've always wondered who or what I am, where I came from, why I'm fluent in Dwemer and many other things. Now I know why. I'm not from this world, or rather not from this time and space. You see, when the Dwemer vanished altogether, at least a small group of them, only were teleported to another time and space, but they were literally trapped there and naturally tried to return to Resdane. But they couldn't find a way. Each time they tried to teleport more than a shade, they lost that person. Some died, some were sucked into oblivion, and some suffered a fate so grave that they won't even tell me about it. I was a completely different approach to that problem. If it was impossible to send a complete Dwemer through time and space, they had the idea to create a new being right here on Resdane and equip it with all the knowledge of a person they originally wanted to teleport. They'd solved the problem to transfer knowledge and even a personality through time and space rather quickly. What they weren't sure of was how to create a new body in another world, and on top of everything, that new body needed to be inconspicuous, in case the world had turned hostile towards the Dwemer for their deeds. Wasn't that overly cautious? Believe me, they had plenty of reason to believe that, especially after Azura metamorphosed the Chimera into the Dunmer. This would not have happened if Vivek hadn't made himself a god by using Dwemer technology. It turns out that people look upon the Dwemer as a mystery now rather than a foe, so those worries have turned out unfounded. Anyway, it took them ages, but finally they could begin their experiment and... Well, what can I say? This time it worked. Mostly. I mean, here I am, a complete living Dunmer, 10 fingers, 2 eyes, 1 brain and whatnot. Funny thing is, I don't even seem to age at all, but what was really disturbing me is the fact that the personality transfer didn't work as expected. I received all the knowledge that I needed to live, but my personal memory was lost during the transfer. They could have told me about myself after they'd created me, but their energy supply was running low, so they had to retreat and leave me where I was created. And when they had accumulated enough energy to return, I'd already left for a world I didn't know, not even knowing who I myself was. But you did get in contact with them. How did that happen? Purely by chance. I've always been interested in anything Dwemer. I've always felt at home in these ruins, and now I finally know why. So when Edwina returned from this newly discovered section of Nishuleft, I just had to go and see for myself, and that's how I literally ran into my family. I've spent most of the last days here talking to them, learning about my past, and planning on how to continue. They seem to have improved the experiment, and we're willing to give it another try. But are you saying that the Dwemer are actually returning to Vardenfell? No, they still can't teleport themselves, and they are few, about 50 people. Nobody knows if others have survived. They have scanned their surroundings for other Dwemer life, but to no avail. They might in fact be the last surviving Dwemer, so they are very cautious not to lose a single person. But we should discuss that at a later time, Archmagister. We must help Edwina first. My family informed me about her only a few minutes ago. It looks as if she fell victim to one of those whose teleportation went awfully wrong. His name was Warrenak. Once, he was a prominent philosopher and priest, but the failed teleportation attempt has destroyed his mind and spirit. His body didn't leave at all, but his mind got utterly mixed up. For a few days he stuttered incomprehensible gibberish, and then he fell into a coma and hasn't woken up since. Turanak, the physician, said that his body is healthy, but his mind is missing, probably wandering some other dimension. Now we've finally found him. Unfortunately, he's found Edwina first. He's taken control of her body, and he won't give it up by any means. They have to force him out, even if it costs his life. If we don't, he will destroy Edwina's mind. I won't allow that to happen. What can we do? As I said, we need to drive him out. Someone will need to enter Edwina's mind, kill Warrenak, and free Edwina's personality from whatever prison he's thrown it in. I can help you to get in, But Warrenak's mental defenses are too strong. So what do you suggest? I suggest we put her on drugs. Something that benumbs Edwina's willpower. Mazte would do, but Edwina is even more bossy when she's drunk. I suggest we use a strong sedative instead. You could ask Ranos Solithri to brew some, and while you're there, don't tell Malum Ryan anything. His nerves are already thin enough. Now go. Hurry. We'll meet in Dwemer. In the meantime, I will try to calm Vorinak down. Yeah, Edwina was definitely more trouble than she's worth. I feel I'm beginning to succumb to the sunk cost fallacy. We've come this far, so we might as well go all the way. In for a penny, in for a pound. Right. Problem is, that means we now have to go to yet another person's tower who doesn't have a teleporter. And I bet if I were to try and set up a teleporter for him, I'd get the same bloody results I have with these other two. Fiddlesticks. Alright, I think Tel Asero is the quickest way to get there. Probably. I don't remember exactly where the Shrine to Azura is. I think it's around here somewhere. I know I can get there pretty easily if I go from Tel Asero, so we'll just go to Tel Asero. Which means, of course, back to Tel Uvirith. Maybe I should have done a mark spell there. Never mind. It just occurred to me as soon as the loading screen appeared. Love turret. Marvelous. Okay, we need to go that way. Just gonna go ahead and fly over there, I think. Why not? Wonder if I could make a better levitate spell these days. That might be worth considering. One that makes me go really fast. So I really could fly around places. Yeah, in fact, I think I really need to look into that, actually. Now that I think about it, that'd be a bloody good idea. Make it a relatively short duration, because sometimes it's annoying when you levitate longer than you want to. But with a really high magnitude, so we just go zooming. There you go, a bit of aerial combat. Splosh. Down he goes. So we ought to wear goggles up here or something, you know. Certainly if we were going any faster. But it must be pretty windy up here. How you doing, cat? Oh, he's a sleepy puddin'. Aren't you? Oh, do you want belly rubs again? There you go. Belly rubs for Colin. It's taken him a very long time to be comfortable with receiving belly rubs. Doesn't come naturally to cats. But occasionally he will roll over and request one. There you go, buddy. Yeah. Nice belly rubs. Little chin scratch as well? Yeah. Are we there yet? Oh, hello. Nearly, actually. There's the statue. Fathers Alden Airways welcomes you to Tel Asero, or whatever this place is called. God, you know, I've not done any flight simulation in a while. Kind of miss it, actually. I should boot up my X-Plane again at some point. totally unrelated. Well, not totally, but mostly unrelated, I know, but it's one of my favourite hobbies is flight simming. One day, if I'm wealthy enough, I'd like to get a pilot's license, so... right. How do I get... Aha. Hello, Ranos. Yeah, I need a sedative. Edwina has fallen victim to a dwarf? Please wait a moment while I prepare the potion. Ranos begins to work immediately. After a few minutes, he hands you a flask. Here you are, Archmagister. Instill this in Edwina, and good luck. I'll try to keep Malum here for a couple more days. He was originally planning to head back to Tel Dwemer tomorrow. Yeah, now about this teleporter thing. Yeah. Again, it has to go through Lunella, who unfortunately seems to have broken dialogue, so never mind. Have you got any more amazeballs potions available, by the way, dude?
Welcome you freely, Outlander.
Because I wouldn't mind some. Let's see. Don't need water breathing. That is outrageous. That is an outrageous health potion. I'm going to have that. That's broken. Divine Boon would be good, though. I'll have a couple of those. I have Khajiit. That's a gas bubble. Oh, hello. Yeah, that would do the trick. I'll take all 10, thank you very much. Bit expensive, but it'll do very nicely. What else you got? Ranos Timsa come by mead. Nice. Alright, I think we're good. Wolfsbane petals. Oh, look at that. How many unripened belladonna berries have I got? I've got 6, so if I... Do you know what? I'll take all of both. Maybe I can finally get that quest sorted out. Because I don't think it was holly berries she was after, was it? It was belladonna berries, I'm sure of it. Screw it, we'll take holly berries as well, just to be sure. There you go. Made yourself a pretty penny there, sir. Okay. So we've got the sedative, I've got some fancy potions, we're all good. Just need to get out of here. Till Uvirith Tower upper. Telvos. Shall we try out one of these potions? How long do they last for? 30 seconds, that's reasonable. There we go. Whee! Kind of expected to go a bit faster than that, actually, I must admit, but... Alright, fine. I mean, if the animation went any faster, he'd probably burst into flames, but... yeah, it's not bad. Covering a bit of ground. Perhaps not quite as good as a Windwalker scroll, but it'll do.
Go now.
Hello, Tunisia, I'm back.
Your attention, Outlander.
It's good to see you again, Archmagister. Did you bring that sedative with you? Good. I have succeeded in prohibiting Warrenak from hurting Edwina's body, but I've failed to calm him down. It's painful, but if we wanted to drink that potion, we'll have to overpower her first. Let's do it this way. You knock her out, I infuse the sedative. Wait, what? I have to floor Edwina so that Tanisi can infuse the drug. So I mean I'm going to have to use hand-to-hand. Because, I don't have a very good hand-to-hand skill. Should have made a spell that boosts hand-to-hand for occasions like this, shouldn't I? Alright, put him up. Could be casting spells and all sorts. Hand-to-hand in Morrowind is actually quite good, if you've got the skill. Although, admittedly, it's increasing quite quickly. Oh god, she's got a gigantic axe. That's not what I needed. Oh, Christmas. That's not good. Probably should have bought one of those OP potions of his now, I think about it. Super Dice Healing Balm, there we go. That's my last healing potion, that is. I needed some bloody absorb fatigue, don't I? Oh, don't have time for that now. Third barrier. Fifth barrier. Why do I have no shoes? Probably because the axe damaged them. Ugh, very annoying. Let's put the boots of the apostle on. There we go. Fourth barrier? I think we should be sufficiently protected now from physical damage. As the body hits the ground, Tanisi quickly infuses the sedative and forces it down Edwina's throat. The potion takes effect almost immediately. We made it. Now all you need to do is enter Edwina's subconscious and exorcise Waranak. Well, I guess you need to find him in her mind and get him. Or rather, his apparition, his shade, his presence. I mean, I've never done this before. All I know is is how to help you enter her mind. We'll do it the exact same way that my family transferred my knowledge into my mind. Good grief. Alright, let's try it. Anything more I need to know? Yes, don't forget that in her mind you aren't a physical being. Just like Waranak, you will be a thought, a pure mind. You can interact with other things in there, and you can probably get hurt, but you won't be able to teleport out. Crumbs. How do I get out, then? Take this amulet. It will function as both a beacon and a transponder. Use it whenever you need to get out, and I will transfer your mind back into your body. And one more thing, whatever you do in there, don't hurt Edwina. I guess that Waranak has imprisoned her somewhere. Find and free her. Once she's free again, I will need to transfer you out really quick, so that she doesn't suffer any more trauma. Mind Whisper has been added to your inventory. I understand. Anything more? Yes, good luck, Archmagister, you will need it. And if I may be so bold as to give you a piece of advice, get an ample supply of potions. I suspect that Waranak will be careful not to use elemental destruction magic in Edwina's mind, but he will try to do damage, drain or absorb your strength, intelligence, personality and willpower. So, are you ready to enter Edwina's mind and face Waranak? Ample supply of potions. That is something I don't have. But very well, let's do it. Lie down, close your eyes, and I will initiate the transfer. Any minute now would be nice. Hell, bells. Alright. These little spidery things parts of her mind? Because if so, I should probably not attack them, as tempting as it is. What did it say there? Centurion Spider Chimera, or whatever. Okay, door doesn't do anything. This door also doesn't do anything. Well, let's drop a manual save here, shall we? Absorb. Where is it? Here we go. Yes, yes, gather around, everyone. Ow. I'm hoping something will happen when I kill them all, honestly. Gonna be out of ideas in a minute otherwise. I can hear it. Well, I think they're all dead. Oh, hello. Is this a way out? Maybe I shouldn't have killed the spiders. Ooh, I really feel like I shouldn't have killed the spiders. Oh dear. Oh, I feel like I need to reload now. Yeah, I'm going to reload. If I'd seen that door, I would have gone through it instead of attacking the spiders. I basically went for the spiders out of desperation. Not because it's something Fathers would have actually done, given the option. Although, it'd be funny if you do get out again and your mind is just absolutely... it's just toast. Maybe this quest has multiple outcomes. I've actually been sitting here wondering, actually, what might happen if I just straight up decided to kill Edwina on the spot in the tower. Just like, no, I've had enough of this. Thwack with the sword, dead. Maybe that's another way of resolving the quest. Probably a less than optimal one, though. How you doing, cat? He's awake now. Having a grooming sesh. His little bell's jingling. A little bit irritating that you can hear that in the videos, the bell, but unfortunately necessary for the welfare of the local bird population. Because otherwise he just goes outside and starts murdering sparrows, which is not very good. Whoa. Hello, robot. You're a chunky fella, aren't you? When viewed from mid-height and not down here. Oh boy, this is getting very weird. I resisted magic. Oh, not that time apparently. Do I have cure paralysis here anywhere? Cure poison. No cure paralysis by the looks of things. That's a little annoying. Well, there we go. Now what are you doing to me? Damaging personality and willpower. When do you cease and desist, for heaven's sake? I'm starting to think those overpowered potions are there for a reason, you know. It's alright, we've survived. More or less. I mean, I have 6 personality and 11 willpower right now, so if you were to tell Fathers to go jump off a cliff, you might consider doing it. Right at this moment, but we can fix that if we drink the potion of 7 wonders. Actually, we got a potion of 7 wonders. That's fortify. We don't want that. We want the divine boon. That's the one. Quick save it before we use it, but potion provided, I think, by the mod for a very specific reason. Okay, where are we going? Which reminds me a lot of that Oblivion quest where you go inside the dude's dream. Very similar kind of vibe. But it just goes to show you how much more creative Bethesda could have actually gotten with the quests in this game. Because some modders many years ago put this thing together and it works just... It's pretty darn cool. Because I really do feel that Morrowind side quests are probably one of the weakest parts of the game. A lot of people look at Morrowind and say, oh, it's great, but the combat sucks. Well, I don't really have too much of an issue with the combat. For me, it's like, it's great, but the side quests suck. Oh, I'm in a Daggerfall dungeon, guys. This is not good. Here we go. Oh, or maybe not. A red herring, that one. Thought I'd made progress there for a second. Oh, the bastards have blanked out the minimap as well. That is just fiendish. I can't levitate above it either, like that maze in the Nord tomb. Although having said all that about side quests, actually, that one with the Nord tomb is actually quite a cool side quest. I mean, Morrowind does have its moments when it comes to side quests, but for the most part, they're a bit crap. Oblivion, I think, has the best ones, and it's funny actually because I've held that opinion for quite some time now. But I watched an interview that coincided with the anniversary of Skyrim, where Todd Howard actually admitted in the interview that he thought Oblivion was where they did their best quests. I was like, ha! I knew it. Even Todd agrees with me. I'm getting the distinct impression this is going to get very frustrating to watch pretty soon. I apologise in advance, everybody. Really, no minimaps. So cruel. So cruel. This is basically a Daggerfall dungeon right now. If you've never played Daggerfall, if you've never watched me play it, Daggerfall's dungeons were basically like this, just sort of blank corridors, arrayed in a kind of labyrinth, spattered occasionally with enemies here and there. I take exception to this because any normal person would be able to climb over this, no problem. Actually, maybe I can levitate through it. 1 second. Oh, come on. That is horseshit. I'm sorry, but that's horseshit. With apologies to the mod maker for not doing it properly, but my patience is limited for this kind of thing. Hopefully this has gotten me somewhere now. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What we got here? Flippin' heck. It's like a disco in here. Walked into a really fancy, weird-ass nightclub. Right, do I just kill you? I guess I just kill you. Yeah, have a bit of Mehrunes Razor, mate. As Warrenak sinks to the ground, Edwina's mind is freed of its usurper. Edwina's spirit is blowing through this madness, resolving it into nothingness. Her gratitude pervades your presence as you are gently being removed from her mind. Okay, good. I was not able to loot Warrenak. Unfortunately, I did try just then. Okay, we're back. Whew. Ah, great. Thanks for that. Thanks for that game. Now I'm staring at the floor. Welcome back, Archmagister. It seems you've done extraordinarily well. I can't see a single trace of Warrenak in Edwina. She will take some time to recover, but she'll be fine. Thank you so much for your help. Freyty and I will take it from here. Please, give me that amulet back. I may need it again. We didn't actually need to put it on in the end, did we? You didn't unequip it, did it? No, still got the chalice equipped. Right, cool. Edwina will recover, don't worry about that. Freyty and I will attend to her from now on. Thank you for your help. Edwina owes you her life. She owes me a lot more than that.
Oh, wonderful.
Right. Yes, let us go back and inform the council that I have once again unfucked it. But that'll be next time, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I certainly did. That was a weird one we just pulled there, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'll catch you in the next one. Give us a like, give us a sub. I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.